Rebecca, I have to say I am embarrassed that I am like a new fan. I was not exposed to your incredible art like up until like 2 months ago.
Well, I'm glad you did because I've been hiding out in Leipers Fork, and so I'm not surprised you haven't heard it.
I mean, it's phenomenal. The way,
Thank you.
like you gave me goosebumps. Like every song of Flying, that new EP,
Thank
like
you.
just incredible songwriting.
Thank you so much.
So just wanted to like first of all,
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Appreciate that so much.
So Leipers Fork. So you've been in Nashville 17 years.
17 years.
17 years.
Yeah, 17 and a half. I first took a trip, well, this winter will be 18 years ago.
18 years.
Yeah.
My God. Let me ask you this. I know it's like a loaded question because it's been a while. But like, how has it journey been? You know, from like an artist perspective, because they say Nashville is a 10-year town.
Yes.
But you know, you're 18 years.
Yes.
I mean, the city is changing every 6 months.
Yes.
You know, how would you, in a summarize, characterize like the past 18 years?
It was a small town when I came here. Everybody knew everybody, and I started by working at, down on Broadway. And I was like, I knew everybody down there. And then now feels like, in a way, it's been the blink of an eye. Like just looking out the window and seeing the skyline it's shocking. Every time I drive in, I'm like, this is not the town how is that possible in that short amount of time? So the growth has been incredible. As an artist, the first 13 years I was here, I was spending about 6 months and 6 months, give or take.
Yeah, Massachusetts in here, right?
Yeah, and I would, I'd be here, my feet on the ground, networking, writing, recording, and then in the summers I would go based out of New England, and I would perform up there 150 shows in the summer, and then I come back down here. So I did that for a long, long time until COVID stuff happened, and then it was like a happy sabbatical. I'm like, well, this is kind of nice that I don't have to sing 7 million shows. I can rest my voice. I can, kind of take a breather. So it was a forced sabbatical, but it was good.
So Rebecca, I mean, you mentioned a lot of interesting things there. This industry is ups and downs, as you know. Sometimes you're high, sometimes you're low. 18 years is admirable. What keeps you going on 150 shows? Like, what is like the thing that keeps you still hungry as ever, writing incredible music as ever? Like, what's that thing still sparking in you?
I just have always believed that this is where I'm meant to be and this is what I'm meant to do. I remember from a young age being like, I'm going to do music, whatever that looks like. And I just kept following it, kept pursuing it, coming here, just chipping away.
Why? Like, why did you have those feelings so clear?
Just because I love music so much and it felt authentic of who I am and what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
I still love meeting people, throughout the years at all those shows, and then to, still be able to share my music with people is pretty special. And, sometimes when I get exhausted and I think, okay, maybe I'll try something else, it always pulls me back in. I can't really get too far because I just authentically feel like I'm meant to be doing this.
Yeah. And also you have so much love to give just in research and just from your energy right now.
Yeah.
And I can't help but come back to like where you grew up in that big house in Massachusetts, that captain's home or whatever,
Yes.
500 years old.
Yes.
You grew up with a lot of love around you, right?
Yes.
Like your parents, there was a lot of love in your household, yeah.
Yeah, just the area that I grew up in, this quaint little town, and, really was about families and, just developing education and community. And I found myself in music there in that town and being able to share that with the people that came in my path. I just sort of got, I guess you could say, addicted to it. Like, how this is so cool that,
Yeah.
People clap. I just did a little recital showcase for some students of mine. I teach music as well. And one of the students that hadn't ever performed before, played a couple short little songs, and the reaction on his face when everyone started clapping was like, he's in. He got it, because it was just so magical to see him light up and look at his mom out in the audience and go, I just did that. That just happened, you know? And so there's that part of it, but then the healing part of it for myself and for other people. I've had so many people come up to me at shows that were like, you know, this song meant so much because, you know, this moved me. This is the story of my life. I went through this. I put this on every morning on my way to work, that type of thing. Or, you know, they'll tell me stories that, you know, no one should have to go through, type of things. And somehow my music reached them. So that part is really, really special and definitely keeps me back in. It's, you know.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I love Cape Cod, by the way.
Oh, it's awesome.
A couple songs in Hyannis is one of some of the best
Oh, yeah.
in my life. The hard school, when you went to the hard school, was that like a pivotal part for you? Because I feel like at what point growing up in Massachusetts, do you go from like, I love music, this is what I feel like I should be doing, to like, I am going to become a professional? Was it like the hard school? Was that like a pivotal part for you?
It was, but I knew well before then.
Okay.
Like I was one of the lucky people that like never had to wonder what my path was going to be. Like I knew it was music one way or another.
Yeah.
And when I went to hard school, I graduated with a degree in music ed, vocal. We had to play every instrument under the sun, every class. It was a very broad program they gave us, and it was pinnacle on a number of levels because I met some of the most important people like in my life during that time, and it's a very intimate small school, so we were so close that, you know, the people that I went, you know, was in almost every class with for 4 years. Yeah. And still to this day, I'm working with them. Some are teachers in the school system, but some are assistant principals. Some are recording artists in LA, some are in New York, some are here. Some are in business and sales. You know, they transferred their skills to a totally different, you know, mindset.
I love it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Great.
Yeah, and one of my dearest best friends, Javier Colon, he won the first season of The Voice. I met him at college, at Hart School, and we became fast friends, and he was working with a producer down here, Tommy Sims. Okay. And that 18 years ago was when I came down to meet Tommy and play some music, and I'm like, this is so cool. Like, everybody's like me. Everybody does some branch of music, and why am I not here? You know, Hart School was like that, but this was a whole different level beyond that.
Absolutely. There's no place like Nashville. We review. Speaking of that, and speaking of friends, fast friends, two of our good friends, Lily Mae and Butch Walker, who were talking off camera a little bit, they love you. You're especially really close with Lily. I mean, Lily and for her kid and everything, and Craig. How was it like recording with them? I know that like you've collaborated with them recently.
Well, Lily and her family were the first people that I met when I came when I moved here. I was, like I said, working downtown, and I would go see her band at Layla's. Yes, and I just immediately I recognized all their talent. Every single one of them are incredible. I felt especially close to Lily. She was 16 at the time, and I just could see it in her. There's some people that you just meet as a musician that you know just they're it.
Sure.
They're the real deal. You know, it's a whole different level. And she's just the sweetest person. She's come up to my farm in Massachusetts and performed there with her family, and it was just always a dream to work with her. And I just had this vision that she'd be able to help carry the message in this song of Rose-Colored Glasses. And so I reached out to her, and she loved it. And she said, absolutely. And that was sort of the beginning of having her do more stuff in the studio. We keep threatening to do more here in the future. But it was a dream because she's such an incredible musician.
Yeah, she's here too.
Yes, and her soul is just, she's, like I said, the real deal.
Agreed. Yeah, Rebecca, that's well said. And you've collaborated with so many people. Obviously, Keb Mo, Butch, Lily, and Natasha Bedingfield. Like, you've collaborated with every genre, different generations of artists. So I feel like you're the perfect person to ask this. Like, what's the common thread with like a good artist, Rebecca? Because you've seen it all. You collaborated with like award winners of all types, of all sorts. Everybody loves you. What's the common thread that you found?
songwriting and a love for music, passion for music. But I think the songwriting thread, no matter what, carries through, and that's what this town is all about, is the song, the song, the song. I came from the tutelage of New England musicians, which are like, Livingston Taylor and James Taylor and Kate Taylor and Melissa Ferrick, a number of artists that I was privileged enough to open for when I was in my younger years. And that art of being just a songwriter on stage with a guitar and singing and telling their story, in a hour and a half, that is really where I cut my teeth. And so when I find other artists that are they're derivative of that, and they're able to express themselves, even if they're just by themselves with their instrument, with their voice, that really resonates with me. So I tend to gravitate towards artists like Lily, Keb Mo,
Sure.
And
That's cool.
beyond. Those are the people that I really connect with, that sort of, they probably were in their bedrooms too, writing their story as well, So that really is something that connects for me. Yeah.
Great, Rebecca. Yeah, I love that. Let's pivot to the EP, which is amazing, like I said. One of my favorite songs, the Snow Globe one. Mm-hmm. But it's a heavy song. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can tell me the story, but your friend lost her partner, right? Mm-hmm. How if you don't mind sharing that a little bit, how that came about?
Yeah, my first official roommate here in Nashville, I found her on Craigslist, believe it or not, and I'm still here to tell the story. But I found her on Craigslist, and it was a perfect match. And so I lived with her for about a year and a half, and she met her soulmate during that time, and she was a different person. She was lit up, and that was the one, And so at the end of the second year of me, going back to Massachusetts, the plan was that they were getting married and they were going to move in and, carry on with their lives. And they had gotten married that September. And I got a call from her father, and they had the wedding, and then they went to Jamaica, and he had a heart condition, and he passed away on the honeymoon just 3 days after they had been married. And it was obviously really shocking to everyone. And her dad and I spoke on a couple of junctures, and he just said, I don't know what your plan is, but would you consider like coming back and living with her? Because we don't know what to do and how to segue this and for her to carry on. And so I said, of course, I love living with Casey. So the song is about that time frame because I lived with her for another 2 years. And the fact that we were celebrating that she married the love of her life, but also that he was no longer with us. So it was a really heavy time, almost like I almost had to pretend that everything was fine at all times, like this is just here. I'm coming in and out like I always do. But the reality is there was this other heaviness that was going on at all times. And I don't think I ever really processed it until I was in the studio recording this. And I had given them a rough draft outline on guitar of this song. And I had an incredible pianist, Mike Hicks, playing it for me. I play piano as well, but not anywhere near his talents. And just we did a rough take of it, and I was taken back. I had never heard it like that, and I remember Casey Wasner, our producer, was like, keep singing, because he was basting Mike. But then he looked at me and he realized that I was like completely grieving, and I was kind of laughing too at the same time because I was embarrassed to have done this in front of all of them. But I was like, it was just so moving, and it was almost like the years of grief that I wasn't able to process or share at the time was coming out there in the studio, and we all knew it was like a really special moment. All the musicians were just very tender about it, and precious, and I'm really grateful for that moment.
That's incredible. So like a moment like that, you can't really practice it, right? And you can almost like just kind of hope it comes for like a song like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I've tackled some heavy topics in my life because I've navigated some things on the periphery of my life and in my own.
Sure.
And, you know, somehow I think because of the person that I am and because of the things I've gone through, I'm sometimes really close to the nucleus of challenging things. And so I try to do what I can for my own processing of that situation, whatever the situation is. But that one, it took me a long time to chip away at and write. It was in parts, and I would put it down and come back. It was almost like it's not good enough. It's not, I can't capture this. I need to capture this like exactly for what it was because it was really hard. And so I think we captured it somehow. You know, it was magic, but you know, we all went through a lot. My friend going through the brunt of the pain of that situation. So I was really honored that she let me tell our story and share it because I think I've already noticed online a lot of grieving widows that have reached out and found the song and they found themselves in it, and that has been something I didn't anticipate and think of. I just thought, okay, this is a story that's real, that it's about grief, and I hope it helps someone, but I had no idea that it would reach that many people.
Absolutely. So when you have a song like that, you like tell your friend like, hey, I'll play you something,
Absolutely.
you know, like unique. You kind of have to like, she's got to like approve it, right? Basically.
Yes. Yeah. In the past, like when I've written things, I've just done it, you know, and here it is, it came out. But as I've matured and lived my life and understood grief and trauma a little bit more, I've realized, okay, like this is tender, and if it's not meant for the world to hear, that's okay. So I made sure that she heard it, and I gave her time to listen to it. And we talked about it at length, and she approved, and it's been really positive. And I'm hoping, you know, that it continues to help her and her family. And she has a little one now, and you know, she's heard it as well. You know, not in the context of the adult, you know, understanding of it, but from a child's understanding. She said something to the effect of, "This is a very sad song, isn't it, Mom?" You know, and she said, "Yes, it is, but maybe that'll help the conversation in the future too." So,
Amazing.
yeah,
Thanks for sharing that, Rebecca.
yeah.
Well, I know you're gonna play a song for us, and thank you for your time. But let me leave you with this. You mentioned that you've gone through some challenges yourself. I mean, that's the problems life is, right? Problems. Would you say? Because I feel like there's a strength about you. There's like I want to say a greediness, but I feel like there's like a great energy about you that like you know that like life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you, and you just have to find the meaning with stuff. And just listening to your old songs, we get that feeling.
Yeah.
And like, listen, life is challenges, but this is what I'm gonna make out of it. Would that be accurate or not?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I'm on a deep search for meaning of things and kind of a definition, not so much a label, but I find that if I can come up with something concrete, that helps me to move on and learn the lessons I needed to learn and apply it in the future. And I hope that it helps other people in that process because, yeah, life is, it's a wild ride, you know, and I've been so fortunate to have amazing experiences, you know, work with Keb Mo and a number of Lily and all these artists that are incredible and write with some of my heroes. So a lot of milestones, a lot of highs, but also, you know, life, you know, comes up and clocks every once in a while and you're like, what just hit me, you know? And it you know, us hypersensitive people and people that are, you know, extremely empathetic, and it hits us, you know, maybe even harder. And I've had other people, you know, they can resonate with the songs, but they're almost like, you know, you're overly emotional or whatever, you know. They can't tap into that, and I envy that at times, because I wish that I could shut the light off sometimes, but I know that I've always felt that there's a reason for why I do what I do, so to share my story to help.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Rebecca. We're so glad that you are doing what you're doing and your purpose in spreading that message, because everybody needs to hear it.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you want to take us away with a song, we'd be honored.
Absolutely. This is called Flying from my EP, Flying. And it's about growth and about having courage to walk away from situations that may not be best for you, but knowing that something great would be coming on the other side. This is me accepting you for who you are. I'm walking away. This is me expecting that you won't change, so I can't stay with someone to whom I've given more than enough. In this dream I only wake without love. So this is me flying, spreading my wings. I'm ready for my real life to begin. This is me soaring, trusting in time. All that's meant for me one day will be mine. This is me flying, letting go of what has been. So I am following my heart today, wherever she may roam, and I am taking everything in stride down this winding road, and I'll make the most of all there is to embrace. Learn to let go without fear and be brave. So this is me flying, spreading my wings. I'm ready for my real life to begin. This is me soaring, trusting in time. All that's meant for me one day will be mine. This is me flying, letting go. I got a running start. There's no more room for doubt. I'm jumping without a parachute, and I'm living just the way I choose. I'm honest and unsheltered, vulnerable, untethered, and it's time to face the truth. This is me flying, spreading my wings. I'm ready for my real life to begin. This is me soaring, trusting in time. All that's meant for me one day will be mine. This is me flying, letting go of what has been. Whoa, yeah, what has been, yeah. Ooh.
Chills. Thank you, Rebecca.
Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate you so much.
Thank you for tuning in. Click here to subscribe and get the latest from the show, including exclusive behind-the-scenes footage and once-in-a-lifetime performances. And as always, thank you for making J-Rock Concerts Media part of your day.